Hello, hi, it's me toxiclowfive. Now today you might be wondering if you should buy Blue Heater 2. Now Blue Heater 2 is currently in beta. It dropped the price from 150 Robux to now it's only 49 Robux, so it's a lot cheaper. It's less than $1 now, so you might be wondering if you should buy it. Now I'm gonna be showing you the highlights of this game and then the cons of this game, but keep in mind this is beta, so stuff is subject to change and get better through time. So firstly, we're gonna start with the starting area. So here you get one character slot for free and you have to pay for the other ones. Each one is 250 Robux, but you get one for free, so it's probably fine, but that depends on how you feel. They probably should have made it so that beta and alpha players at least get 2 character slots for free, but whatever. We're gonna pick this character here and you can customize. Now there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. You can change, well, I would love to show you everything, but you can't change the races. There's multiple races. I think there's demon, there's cat, there's another like Neko type one. I forgot. I think it's like a dog or something. There's the elf, which is the one I have, and each of them have their own stats. Now I can't show you what the stats are because I would have to pay for it, and I don't want to pay for a slot that I'm not gonna use. So but yeah, there's a whole bunch of slots and each race gives you different abilities. You can go look back at my older videos if you want to see what each race does, but yeah, you get different abilities and it depends on what your builds are going to be. I went with elf because it's really good for healing. And then here in the starter map, you see your friends that played the game before, or the friends you last played with. They will show up here. It's kind of adorable. Anyways, we're gonna play and get onto it. All right, so here we are, floor 1. Unfortunately, it's nighttime, so it won't look as good, but yeah, so this is floor 1. Now right off the bat, you might not like the character customization or like the characters. Why is she staring at me like that? But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the characters they went with. I never really liked the characters from Blue Heater 1 and 2 as well, because I don't know, I honestly rather play with my character, and if that's a deal breaker for you, you might not want the game. But if you could go past the characters and how the characters look, I think it's fine, and you'd love this game. And all the NPCs look like you as well, so there's that. I think they just did that for a certain style they were trying to meet, like all other most Roblox RPGs. Next, we got the gameplay, the progression, and other stuff you can do in the game, such as the side content and the quests. Now, this game has millions of quests all over the map. As you explore, you're gonna find a lot of quests all over the map. There's a quest here, there might be a quest over there. There's also secret quests you can find around the map, and each of them has really good dialogue. When I mean really good dialogue, I mean like it's not like just in, like, for example, if you play Cerberus 3, you would know in Cerberus 3 is just they just tell you get ready for adventure, and it's not really anything funny. But when you talk to these guys, they'll have something funny to say. Like this guy, for example, he might have something. Yeah, see, he says stuff like this, and it's really good. Like it gives each of the characters character, and it makes it so you want to explore more. But there is a complaint I do have with the game currently, and that's exploration as well, because since the map is like huge, and I really do mean these are some of the biggest maps I've ever seen in a while for a Roblox open world game like this, it's really hard to get around the map quickly because like you can't sprint on the mounts and you can't sprint regardless. So for example, for the progression, there's a whole bunch of you need your armor and your weapons, and each of the armors and weapons have their own different attributes, such as like magical power, physical power, and all of these are going to be important later for when we get on to like the progression system. But for example, if we pick this armor right here with -2 walk speed, you won't be able to get around the map as quickly unless you use the mount, because the mount doesn't care what speed you have. So even if you have like really good speed, your mount will still be the same speed as somebody with like the heaviest armor in the game, for example. And you can't sprint. Like there's no sprinting in the game for either the mount or you, and that's really annoying. Other than that, other than main quests, there's also side quests you can do, which is from this wanted poster, these wanted posters, and then also the war room right here. You'll see it in one of the houses over there. That's a daily quest, and you get those. You use that for bleeder bits, which is used here in the shop to buy like cosmetics and auras and mounts and stuff. Now in terms of gameplay, there's 3 main things you can do. You can explore, you can fight mobs, there's dungeons, and then there's the open world. You can do all of that stuff to level up. Right, so here we have talents. Talents just gives you like some different buffs and stuff to your character. Like for example, if I wanted to buff my strength, you would use this for when you get under 25 health, or if you're using like staff, you would get 3 extra intelligence for using this. Think of it kind of like how stuff works in like Elden Ring games, where you like get different, like I forgot what they're called in the game, but you get like different things or like like accessories that you can put on that helps you with like depending on what your build is. So you can make like a bunch of different builds. Then we have the skills here. Now the skills, this is where you get like fire blast, and so you could like do a meteor blast. You could get like a thing that heals up multiple people, stuff like that. It's really cool stuff depending on like what you're using. For example, this is for healing builds. You would need 10 focus, that would be in your stats area. This is where you like do your build. So like this is where you get the rapier, dagger, and scythe power. I don't want to join your dungeon. So this will be mostly where you make your build, and then on top of that, you use your weapons and stuff for that as well. Now the map and scenery. Now this map is, like I said, is huge, and I really do like it. I love, like, they put a lot of effort, especially in floor 2 as well. I didn't think they would put as much effort as they did in floor 2 as they did with floor 1. Everywhere you go, it just looks really good, and it looks like they put a lot of effort into it. The mob design as well, like, look at that mob over there. It's like really cool looking. Like, it definitely took a lot of inspiration from multiple games like Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, and so I really do like it. But I don't really want to fight this guy. One more thing I forgot to mention, actually. I actually forgot about this, but there's also, other than the dungeon system, there's also towers in the game. And before, when the towers first came out, I wasn't a big fan of them, but I'm pretty sure they changed it up now. For the side content, there's other stuff you can do other than just exploring the map, and it's really cool. I don't know why they added this stuff in, but we're gonna go to it. So we need to go to here. And one cool detail, there's like NPCs running around. It'd be cool if you could talk to them though. Now the side content in this game, now here you have a leaderboard with like these bacon hairs, which probably are hacking. Why do they all have the same thing? You know what, whatever. But anyways, like I said, here you have like this shows you like the leaderboard for like the tower, like the highest tower floor. And these people are insane for doing this many floors. Like, this is crazy. Depending on where you are for the rank, you get right here, if you're rank 1, you get 4,500 bits, down and down and down. That's how much you get. You have to be up there for like, I think 7 days, and if you do that, you get the thing. So that's a little bit of side content if you want to get bleeder bits, which is used for the shop. Next up, there's another area. Now if you see here, down here, you see there's plot. Now if we go here, we can build whatever you want. So you can like build houses and stuff, and I think there's supposed to be a system where you can like sell to other players. So if you make like a really good like house or something, I think you're gonna be able to sell like stuff for, I don't know, this is a rumor right here. This is, don't take this verbatim, but I think you could sell your house or stuff and plots for money, but I won't be doing that because I don't really care about that. But yeah, you can like build and stuff. So if we press build, right, so you can like place stuff. So I think we click, right, so we place that, and that's where that is now. So yeah, I could also there. So now that's placed, and you sell it for a little bit of money, but I wouldn't suggest it because you don't get that much money back. So make sure when you're placing something, it's something you actually want to place. So yeah, that's some of the side content in the game. Then there's one more thing you can do. Oh wait, did they remove it? Oh, they got rid of it? Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, there used to be a building here that used to be there, and it would have like Connect 4, and it was like a little mini game. I actually really liked it because it was like, because this would technically be where everybody would be chilling at. So I was thinking that the Connect Floor mini game would get added on with other mini games. Like, I guess they removed them. That's unfortunate, and I'm really upset about that actually. What the hell is this? Oh, you can reroll substats here? I didn't even know that. Oh, cool. So you can reroll your substats. So here we have this negative armor rating. That's a substat. I'm thinking I'm gonna get rid of that. That's gonna get me killed. But yeah, this is, you get different substats, and depending on the armor and what you get, so you can get the magical resist and physical resist. So there's stuff like that. But let's go let's reroll and see what happens. Oh, we need it. Oh, okay. So that gives another reason to do the tower. So the tower, you get tower sigils. Okay, all right, that's interesting. All right, cool. I didn't even know that. Before you decide to buy this game, there's one more thing I would like to talk about. So we're gonna go to floor 2. So here we are in floor 2. Now in floor 2, and all floors, for example, like all of the future floors, floor 3, floor 4, now depending on what build you want to use is gonna be very crucial, because if you make like a really bad build, you're not gonna enjoy the game, mostly because it's gonna be really difficult. Now I don't know if you have realized, but most things have a magical and physical power. Now I went with a balanced build, so I do a lot of damage to magical enemies and physical enemies. What that really means is there's a magical resist and there's a physical resist. So like, for example, a witch character, like a mage character would have a lot of magical resist, but would take a lot of damage to physical power. So like regular swords, great sword, daggers, rapiers, anything with like a lot of physical damage is gonna do a lot of damage to that. And then the opposite, like a night goblin, for example, one that's wearing like full armor, would take like barely any physical damage but take a lot of magical damage. So you need to be like really careful with what you want to go for. So if you're going for like a full mage build, it's going to be really difficult, and if you're going for a fully physical build, it's also going to be difficult. So you have to like, that's why I went with a hybrid build that does a lot of damage to both. Don't have that much defense, but yeah, it's gonna be a learning curve to like figure out what you actually want. But essentially that's it. The last thing I could possibly say is, if you don't think you're convinced that you should buy the game yet, I would say if you're waiting for a fully finished game, this is probably not the best time to jump in, considering there's only 2 floors right now, and each floor gives you about 3 to 4 hours of content depending on how fast you go through it. It can take you 6 hours sometimes, depending on if you do everything. If you want to do everything on the floor, like all quests, all the tower stuff, everything, all of the dialogue, it'll take you like 6 to 7 hours to finish each of the floors. That's how much content is in each floor. And I think that's a way better thing to do. I think jam-packing each floor with a bunch of content is good. And floor 2 is supposed to have even more content coming next week. So there's a lot to do. So if you were thinking this game doesn't have much to do, there's a lot to do. And I highly, highly recommend it for 49 Robux. 49 Robux for this amount of content for 14 hours of content is pretty good, in my opinion. For like less than $1 is really good. So if you have the Robux and you're wondering if you should buy it or not, I think this is the best time to buy the game. Now for the things that I don't like about the game, I've mentioned it in my last video, but that was like a really long video, so I'm gonna mention it here. There's no iframes for dodging. So for this, there's no iframes for dodging. I think there should be iframes. I would love a parry system. Right now there's a blocking system, but you have to be holding one weapon. Hold on. So let's say we're using this rapier right here. There's a blocking system, so you can block, but you can't parry. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention each. Oh yeah, actually, I forgot to mention there's a bunch of different animations for like each thing, and the animations it's a big issue with this game, in my opinion. Like the animations are nice looking, but they're not like the best looking animations, especially if you use the mount. You probably noticed it when I was playing earlier, but the animations might be a deal breaker for some players. But I do like the variety of animations for each weapon. Like if you dual wield a rapier, for example, there's animations for that. The daggers you saw. So if I use one dagger, this is what it looks like. You hold it like this, and if I dual wield it, this is what it looks like. So there's a whole bunch of animations. So if you could dual wield everything for free. They don't lock anything like that behind a paywall. The only things that are behind a paywall, the overlays, mounts, emotes, and stuff that a lot of people probably won't care that much about. I really am happy about that. I think I'm gonna go for this. But essentially that's it. That's all I have to talk about. Really good game. I really recommend it if you're looking for a new RPG, especially if you're a Sobers 2 fanboy or World Zero fanboy. And this is just a perfect mix of those two games, World Zero and Sobers 2. I think this is the Sobers 3 everybody's been waiting for. And for 49 Robux, I highly recommend this game, and I think you should play it. But anyways, that's it. That's all I have to say. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.